Hello, dear friends, and welcome to your weekly astrology horoscope for the week of March the 15th through the 21st. This week, there will be an interesting transition between the more passive, more calming, and also more emotional energy of Pisces into the active, brave, dynamic, courageous energy of Aries. So prepare for this interesting and very triggering emotional, energetical shift. The Sun and the Venus are moving to Aries around the end of the week. Also, we are right after a new moon. This is the first week and the first phase of this new lunar cycle. And this is always a time of expansion and taking action into the outer world. So it's an active and also a very productive week that we can have in front of us. So let's get started with Monday. On Monday, Mercury is moving to Pisces. And actually, we have a lot of Pisces energy on Monday. Mercury moving to Pisces can help us with imagination, with our creativity. It's a great time to let your intuition guide you to do something more creative. It's a wonderful time for spiritual practices or for healing. And even in communication, you may notice that you are more kind with people, you are more polite, and overall people respond very well when we care about their emotions in all kinds of communications. On the other side, the Sun has a minor challenging aspect with Saturn, which is in Aquarius. So this may bring some potential issues in communication, specifically on Monday. And overall, we may feel like there's some kind of resistance, there are some kind of potential blockages or delays, or we just need to work extra hard for the results that we want to achieve. The other aspect we have is between Venus and Uranus, and this is also a minor challenging aspect, which requires from us to be more careful in relationships with financial decisions. We may tend to respond more impulsively, or we might feel anxious, and also there might be some possible surprises in regards to those areas. Maybe some financial expenses we haven't planned, or just an impulsive decision to buy something, which is not necessarily something bad, as long as you are careful and you really know what you want. On the other side, the moon is in Aries, which brings more active energy. And it's a great time for just taking action, doing something in a careful way, of course, considering all the other factors, but the energy is active. That's pretty important. And as you can see, there are some possible challenges in business, finance, relationships, communication. So overall, be more cautious on Monday. On Tuesday, we have a very positive aspect between the Sun and Pluto, and this is a major one. This one is great for business, for financial decisions, for investments, also for feeling more empowered, feeling more concentrated and dedicated and committed to something that you are deeply passionate about. In your business, you may have more impact, and overall it's a time of excuse me, overall it's a time of empowerment and having access to a really strong concentrated energy, which we can use especially when it comes to something business oriented, something practical, but also something more creative, something inspirational. The moon will be in Taurus on Tuesday, which allows us to be even more concentrated and even fixated on something particular, to work hard and achieve some practical results without rushing. So be patient, take your time, but think about what's the final outcome you want to achieve. And this position is also very beneficial for some kind of financial decisions. On Wednesday, we have a minor challenging aspect between Venus and Saturn. This one can bring some kind of emotional frustration in relationships when we connect to our close people. Honestly, even in everyday communication, because Saturn is in Aquarius. So between friends, there might be some kind of misalignment, or in your community, things might be more intense. So be more careful how you treat other people, how they feel, how you want them to feel, because this aspect can make people feel kind of misunderstood or left alone, or sometimes it may bring the feeling of loneliness or even separation. And even in cases when other people don't mean this. So be more careful with this area. And also financially. Financial decisions might be more difficult or maybe not so successful. So be careful with this. And the moon is in Taurus, which makes the energy concentrated, fixated, and kind of slow. My advice is to focus on connecting with nature, doing something for your body, for your well-being, maybe even relaxing. Don't try to achieve many things at the same time, because the day is just not beneficial for those purposes. Thursday is a quite busy day and actually one of the most positive days during the whole week. Venus will have a sextile with Pluto. Amazing aspect for investments, financial decisions, business, purchases. In the relationships also, there might be deeper connection, deeper understanding, stronger attachment between you and the people you love. So this aspect brings really lots of passion and strong emotions. Venus has another interesting aspect, a creative one with Mars, and this also makes the relationship situations really interesting and more passionate and more exciting and more dynamic also. This is a great aspect to do something that you love. It could be in your personal life, in your business and career, in your daily routines. Just take action related to something that you would love to do. And Mars has another positive aspect with Uranus, which can help us to be more creative, to be more spontaneous, to take some reasonable risks when necessary, and also to do something different, to do it in a innovative or just something, in a way that's not very common for us, and the results can be surprisingly positive. Okay, and the moon is still in Taurus, so pay attention to the material world, to your financial situation, to your body. Be cautious and remain connected with the earth, with the material world. Friday, the moon moves to Gemini, and there will be a conjunction with Mars. From one side, this can make our minds really active, really productive, but it may also feel overwhelming. And it's interesting that the moon will also square Mercury. So chances are that we can kind of like multitask, focus on many things at the same time, try to take action. We may feel anxious because of that, but excited at the same time. And in communication, also, we need to be more careful because there might be misunderstandings, sometimes possible confrontations, sometimes arguments and things of that kind. So overall, the main focus is on mental work, intellectual work, communication, and it may not be very simple, but we can be very active and productive in those areas. And the moon is having a positive aspect with Saturn, which can help us to be more disciplined, organized, patient, and to commit to something and to have some visible results. So for business and for work, this is a very helpful aspect. And on Saturday, big shift. The sun will ingress Aries. By the way, this is very close, actually. On the next day, on the 21st, we are starting with our program about energy balancing of the chakras. So check the link below if you are interested in joining us. But before that, on Saturday, the sun moves to Aries, which totally changes the atmosphere. We can become more courageous, we may feel more empowered, willing to take action, more productive. So that's a very intense flow of fire energy coming ahead. And also, this is the beginning of the new astrology year. So there's definitely a big shift. It's like a reset. It's like time to leave the things that you don't want anymore in your life behind you, and then prepare for something new. This is one of the main reasons why we are doing this new energy coaching program right now, because we really want to make this reset and rebalancing. And it always starts with us. So think about which are those things that you want to take action on, how you can step up for yourself, and yeah, what you are really passionate about. On Saturday, there is also another very interesting aspect between Jupiter and Neptune. This is a positive aspect which can really help us and support us, especially when it comes to learning, expanding our minds, having a different vision, being more creative, being more inspired. So it's a great combination. I'm a real fan of those two planets. They are actually friends with each other because they both rule Pisces. Some astrologers also consider that they both rule Sagittarius as well. There might be a discussion about this topic, but they're definitely connected, Jupiter and Neptune. And it's a great time to think about your beliefs, your faith, your worldview, and a great time for spiritual healing. The moon is in Gemini on Saturday, which brings lots of focus to the mind, some new ideas that we may focus on, and also the communication can be very active and very fulfilling. And on Sunday, as we said, we start our new program right after this new astrology year. And also Venus is moving to Aries. We need to consider the fact that Venus is not strong in Aries. The reason for that is because the emotions may become more unbalanced. They are more exaggerated, they're more demonstrated, they're more dramatic in certain way. Yes, there is lots of passion coming together with all of this, but keep in mind that you might be more impulsive or a little bit, you you may kind of exaggerate a little bit certain situations. So in relationships, we need to be more careful for the next couple of weeks in negotiations as well. On the other side, we have a great aspect between Mars and Saturn. There is a trine, which is a major, which means a more important aspect. And it's great for organizing things, for following through, being committed to something. And also mentally, we can be extra productive because the air signs are triggered. In communication with other people, we can also explore different options, different possibilities. We can make plans and we may take action on those plans. So overall, the day can be very productive. Mercury has a sextile with Uranus as well. And this aspect can bring you insights, new ideas, inspiration, a different worldview. Finding solutions to previous problems, being excited, receiving new information. It's honestly a very, very nice aspect. If you want to learn astrology, also a great one. And the moon is in Cancer in Sunday, which means that the emotional atmosphere will be very important. And it's a great time for family activities or just to stay at home, do something privately, something that you like for yourself, and just take better care of your emotional well-being. And with that, my friend, we covered our next week. Pretty interesting and positive one. Also, don't forget, if you want more inspiration, if you want the latest news, sign up for our weekly notes. Check the link below or go to marsstars.net and sign up there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you next time.